The following comments were written by Reverend Larry Barber of Founders Church, a Center for Spiritual Living, Reverend Arthur Chang, pastor. My name is Cheryl Collins. On a day such as this, when we seek to honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., it's helpful to consider how he formulated his philosophy of becoming a champion of freedom and releasing the bonds of oppression. Martin Luther King Jr. got his PhD from Boston University in 1955. While there, he met and took classes from Dr. Howard Thurman, an African-American professor of theology, who would later run a thriving interracial church in San Francisco. Dr. Thurman, a profound and eloquent speaker and writer, made the journey to India in 1936 to visit the great Indian leader, Mahatma Gandhi. He asked Gandhi at that time what message he should take back to the United States of America. Gandhi said to tell the people that he regretted not having made nonviolence more visible as a practice worldwide. And he suggested that it was likely that American Black men would succeed where he had failed. In thinking about that prediction of Gandhi's, it would seem Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. made that prophecy come true. In the years of the 1950s, King began and continued to take notice of Gandhi and his work. And he began to think himself about making a trip to India. He was finally able to take that trip in April of 1959. The trip to India affected Dr. King deeply, underscoring his understanding of nonviolent resistance. In a radio address made in India on his final evening there, Dr. King said, "Being in India, I am more convinced than ever that the method of nonviolent resistance is the most potent weapon available to oppress people in their struggle for justice and human dignity." On a day like this, I sometimes wonder if Dr. King might have caught the sentiment of this quotation from one of Dr. Thurman's books. Quote, "The movement of the Spirit of God in the hearts of men often causes them to act against the spirit of their times, or cause them to anticipate a spirit which is yet in the making. In a moment of dedication, they are given wisdom and courage to dare a deed that challenges and to kindle a hope that inspires. It seems clearly evident that Dr. King indeed took up the mantle of wisdom and courage and challenged the prevailing powers in leading us to accomplish great changes, including the passing of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. All praise and honor to the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King."